Happy New Year, folks. Hi everyone, welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video, which is video number 8 of the 12 Days of Christmas 2023 playlist, I'm going to take a look at figures that are coming out this year that I'm hyped for. Now, to be honest, most of these figures I haven't pre-ordered, or I'm making moves to pre-order, or I haven't pre-ordered yet, but it's more than likely going to happen. But yeah, so look, we'll go through them. So these are all figures that are due to release this year, 2024, and like I said, folks, Happy New Year. So we're gonna keep it nice and brief here. So this one here, it's the only pre-order that I have on Sideshow. I had points. This is the 1/6 scale Catwoman, based on the likeness from Anne Hathaway from the movie The Dark Knight Rises. So obviously it's branded Dark Knight Trilogy. I'm not sure what that is. I suppose that's kind of the trend they're going back. The DX19, I think, was originally branded Dark Knight Rises, and then when it was released, it was branded Dark Knight Trilogy. So I think they're doing that, maybe, I don't know, just a way of them kind of reissuing things, I suppose. Now this one here, I've never owned before. I was a fan of her portrayal. I thought she did a great job in the third installment of the Dark Knight Trilogy. Thought she looked the part, thought she acted the part, the action scenes were great. I've heard bad things about the first one. Again, like I've heard from some people that the leather, which is kind of like a pleather, peeled, and I'm hearing from other people that once you keep it in their environment, basically from other people, it hasn't peeled. And their logic is that if your environment is kind of like stable, the temperature is stable, and the humidity is kind of stable, there's no like issues, then you get away with it and it doesn't work. Now, luckily, living in Ireland, this room is more or less the same temperature all year round. It obviously a bit colder in the winter, maybe a bit warmer in the summer, but not to the extreme. Our climate is kind of like cool temperate climate. It doesn't get extremely hot and it doesn't get extremely cold. So hopefully, and humidity isn't an issue, so hopefully I won't have that issue. Well, hopefully, first of all, they improve it, and secondly, that people don't have that issue. Now, I am skeptical of the rooted hair. I don't think HotToys does. I've never seen a HotToys figure which I was really, really impressed with the rooted hair. I know that they've made advances like that Wonder Woman, is it 100th edition, the Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman. Yeah, it's a bit better than previous versions, but essentially it still kind of looks a little bit like doll hair, to be honest. Like it's not the same realism that we're getting from either customs or the likes of inart or something else, in my opinion. But yeah, feel free to disagree with me in the comment section down below. But I do think that Wonder Woman, that Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman, it's definitely a step in the right direction. Hopefully they'll get their artisan line right. The Wanda, the Joker, and what was the other one they did? Oh, the Anakin. Hopefully for the people that ordered them, they nail that and they improve on that when it comes to final product. But I am skeptical. And this one here, even though I have it on pre-order, I'm skeptical as well, because they're not going to do anything fancy with that. They're not going to do this with lamb's wool hair or something like that. It's not artisan. They're not going to upgrade it for the sake of upgrading. It's just not going to happen. It's like all those figures that were released, like I think like Besman Luke. Didn't come with a USB lightsaber. People were giving out didn't come with a USB lightsaber, but then again, it wasn't advertised with a USB lightsaber. There was a threshold. I think the first one that they advertised as having a USB lightsaber was, I want to say, the Grand Inquisitor, maybe, or Reva, or the Kenobi. No, I think it was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi from the Kenobi show. You can fact check me there, but basically, once that was announced, it seemed that the rest of the figures, that any like Jedi or Sith or figure that came with a lightsaber after that went up for pre-order, was advertised with a USB powered lightsaber. So in the same way, this is not an artisan line. I don't think they're going to upgrade anything. I think they're going to be, the hair will probably be similar to the first released. Now I imagine, because the hair is kind of straight, I'm hoping that the kind of goggles she has, like so the mask she has, and the kind of like the things that look like ears there, I think there was like a radio, they used it, it kind of clicked down, I think, as well. But they used it, not only looked like ears, it wasn't like blatantly looked like ears, it kind of had like a radio function or something like that. I thought there was a kind of cool way of getting it into the real world, but yeah, we'll just call them the ears. I'm hoping that the combination of the mask and the ears actually hold that hair in place, maybe, so there's not too much futzing with it. I hope it just comes out of the box and, you know, just a bit of manipulation, and then it turns out okay. So yeah, fix the suit. From what I understand, the body proportions are supposed to be better. I think they advertised it like that as well in some of the blogger photos. But yeah, look, this is from the prototype images. It looks good. I love the base. I think that base will work with Bane. I know Bane comes with his own version of this essentially, but what I plan on doing is I've got a bat pod here. It's vacant because I have the DX19 posed with the inart rooted hair purple coat Joker. What I plan on doing is, because I like using that base with the Joker, but it means he's a bit higher than the DX19. Now that's not a deal breaker. Like, I mean, in different parts of movies, villains and heroes have the high ground. So that's not a deal breaker. It doesn't need to be the exact same height. I know there's 6 scales. Someone standing on a step, that's just real life. But it would be kind of cool to pose maybe the DX19 on this and kind of level it up and see what it looks like next to the inart Joker with that round magnetic base. And then this figure can be posed next to the bat pod, straddling the bat pod, or just standing next to it or something like that. Great base though. Hope it turns out as well. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how well she's going to be able to do that in the bat pod. If I can get her to do that and it looks natural, fine. If not, I won't be bothering. But yeah, I think they've nailed the likeness here. From what I understand is the sculpt's the same, but it's improved paint applications. And look, you can do a lot with improved paint. The better the paint, you know, the better the likeness is going to be. In the same way, the better the sculpt, the better the likeness is going to be. But even if the sculpt's the same and the paint is better, hopefully it looks a bit more like Anne Hathaway. And I think the body proportions were a bit strange. I think that she wasn't like, she, you know, respectfully, like she's a curvy woman, she's in good shape, and I think that from what I understand, the other one was like kind of straight up and down. They didn't actually, it's not accurate. It's just basically from what I understand from the 1.0. So hopefully they improve the paint applications, the proportions, and that suit and give it a bit of longevity. Right, so the next thing that I'm hyped about for this year, who isn't hyped about this one? I don't have Vader in my collection. I have the 40th anniversary Return of the Vader. If I had to choose, I would go with the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary, and just that'd be the one representation. I just could not say no to this. There were aspects of the Kenobi series that I didn't enjoy, but there were aspects of the Kenobi series that I loved. Basically, the majority of scenes with Vader I absolutely loved. When he was in that town and he was kind of going in looking for Kenobi, and he was, you know, ruthlessly like force choking people to death and stuff like that and throwing them around the place. I enjoyed that. Didn't really enjoy the cat and mouse chase. I didn't get what that was about. Or why didn't he just like reach through the fire with the force and kill him then? A lot of the show, because of the writing, didn't make sense. Okay, I think we can all agree on that. But then there were some great parts, like when he pulled down the kind of the rebel ship with the force. I thought that was cool. And then the fight eventually, which was the main thing. That's what we all wanted to see. That's what I wanted to see. These two people meet again, go head to head, and have it out again. And I just loved the battle damage look. And that scene, that kind of poignant scene between Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, where the mask was split open, and it's saying at this point he's battle damaged, he's beaten, and he was able to. You could hear the kind of the voice changer. The kind of robotic sounding whatever device it is that changes his voice and gives him that Vader. Was it David Earl Jones? I've completely messed it up. I completely messed it up. I can't. How dare I? Oh God, what's his name? Is it David? I gotta actually pause the video here and just. I gotta check this. David Earl Jones. I think it's David Earl Jones. Vader voice. I have my nerd card revoked here. Vader voice. James Earl Jones. Jeepers. James Earl Jones. So you can kind of hear the robotic, but you can also hear Hayden Christensen like his voice coming under as well, which was yeah, kind of cool. Really liked that scene. But this figure is stunning. Couldn't pass in it, just with that battle damage look. With the eye going through, and it's kind of like the Sith eye. I really hope this doesn't soften. Unfortunately, 90% of the time, even the best HotToys prototypes, they soften a bit, you know, so the detail gets a little lacking, and things like that, and wrinkles kind of aren't as pronounced. Sometimes they're a bit kind, and the figure ends up looking a bit younger than it actually does, but like still, like the Toby kind of softened a bit. Still looks very, very strong, a little bit softened, but yeah, I'm hoping this turns out as good as what we see here. The battle damage there, the detailing on the eye and the scar on the head, just really, really, really cool. A great piece. And even if it's just an anomaly and a standout in the collection, I just think that's going to be a great looking piece. Right, so really hyped about that. By the way, yeah, I have that in pre-order. With Lion Rock. This with Sideshow. Had a bunch of points and wanted to use them. I don't really order with Sideshow, but yeah, this one here, I have this on pre-order with Lion Rock as well. Yeah, look, I was waiting for this. This is one of the most exciting announcements of last year, 2023, for me. I picked up the DX08 Joker. I don't think they're going to go and give us a 2.0 of the Jack Nicholson DX08 Joker from the 1989 Batman movie. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong for the people out there that don't have that. But yeah, so this had to come home. This was the movie that made me... I don't think I'd be collecting if it wasn't for the 1989 Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Tim Burton Batman or Batman Returns. Just a lot of good memories as a child. It is the movie that kind of really made me fall in love with film, and my collecting is rooted in film. So this one here, really looking forward to it. I think they've done a great job. By the looks of things, it looks like a 2.0. It looks like an improvement. I know they're marketing it as like a 2.0 or whatever. You've got that base as well with the gargoyle, which is a nice diorama piece. They're kind of definitely upping their game in the last year or two, HotToys, with those diorama pieces. The face plates look great. Just flick through some of these here. Like that, such a simple pose. That's something I'd actually do. I've heard people say, oh, why would you do it? He's behind him. He's not really behind him. You're missing his left arm and, you know, his left leg. It looks deadly. I think that's really, really cool. The cape drapes really well in that photo too. I'm hoping the cape turns out well. I'm not entirely sold on it. I think it drapes well, but something about that texture doesn't look like it did on the TV. But like, look, if I have to, I'll go Jackson Shoe on this one. I'm hoping I don't have to do that. Back computer, will it ever happen? Who knows? Those faceplates. The one on the left always reminds me of Val Kilmer, which is a bit ironic because he played Batman as well. I wasn't a big fan of Batman Forever, but yeah, I can definitely see Keaton on the right and middle, and even, yeah, I can see it on the left as well. But like, it's funny, it's like a hybrid between Keaton and Kilmer. But yeah, that just looks great. And the Batmobile in the background, which is a perfect segue because the next thing I'm hyped about, this is like, when I think of iconic movie vehicles, obviously you have the DeLorean, you have the Batwing, you have the Aston Martin DB5, you know, you've got the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing, I know the Enterprise if you're a Star Trek fan. But the Batmobile, I think the Batmobile is the number one for me. Like, it's just in terms of movie vehicles, I think of like iconic movie vehicles, I think of the 1989 Batmobile. It is just slick, it's gothic looking, it's a strange looking, slick looking vehicle. I'm sure this is going to be fantastic. I imagine it's going to be a straight reissue of the 1.0 from HotToys. I don't think they're going to make it longer and like that. Maybe they improve the paint apps or the lighting system. But yeah, look, the Jazz Ink is out there as well. That's $1,500. I think there's a place for both of them. I think they're both going to be good. Jazz Ink probably will be more screen accurate. But then again, you get what you pay for, don't you? This is half the price, and this is something I'm really looking forward to as well. Next thing, just worth noting that this is obviously the final swing suit from Spider-Man No Way Home. And with this, the head sculpt, it's strong here, but they've actually come out, I didn't think there was anything wrong with it really, but they've come out and refined it and made it look a lot better. These aren't the updated images, just be conscious of that if you're watching the video. Like, look, Tom Holland's my Spider-Man. I think he's the best Spider-Man. I know it's divisive, there's no right answer to that, that's just my opinion. It's not a fact, as in, okay, it's a fact that's my opinion, but it's not a fact that he's the best Spider-Man, because it's completely really subjective. And I know people, every time I say this, it's like saying who your favorite Batman is. There is no right answer, it's all just opinions, but there's always someone who'll go, so-and-so is the best, end of story, fact, and they will be blocked because they're annoying. So yeah, look, this Tom Holland's my Spider-Man. I really liked his rendition and really liked how he was plucked out of Queens, thrown into the MCU, given the Stark Tech, and then his whole story arc was actually all the movies he was in, and now he's stripped of all of that. No one knows who he is. He's really, really anonymous. He's back to basics. It's a suit that he made himself. No more Stark Tech, and I think that's a really, really cool origin story. 6, 7 movies that he was in. So you've got his trilogy. He was in Civil War, Infinity Game, Infinity War, Endgame. So that's 6. It's a long story arc or origin story realistically, but this suit looks great. It's very, very classic looking, but it has that kind of shine as well, which kind of makes it something kind of metallic, almost a shine to it, which I think is quite cool. I'm wondering, will it transfer from proto to product? I think the head sculpt is like an absolute banger. I hope they don't lose standard, and like I said, it has been updated. It's actually looked better than this. I'll flick through some of these. I like the material suit, very, very simple. Your classic red and blue, the spider on the chest. Obviously you've got the neck piece, which I like. They should have done that with the integrated suit, but they didn't. I really like the diorama base, but I have to say Hot Toys, I've noticed just from having things like the battling version Spider-Man from No Way Home, that's basically the oil change Spider-Man, as I call him, the kind of dirtied up upgraded suit. The diorama bases, although they look cool, they do soften a bit, the paint apps. The same even with the Mark III. Still looks cool, definitely usable, not a major deal breaker, but I just wish with the face, the head sculpts and dioramas that the detail stayed and things don't soften. But yes, well, that's manufacturing, not a deal breaker. Right, so this here, like, it's just, like, I mean, I just love this. And even that sculpt looks good, but they've definitely improved it with those updates, because they released updates of the head sculpts for, was it Shuri? And yeah, Shuri, the same day, Shuri, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, and Lady Thor as well. They unveiled it actually. The Natalie Portman looks very, very strong as well. I think the suit looks great. I really hope this turns out and doesn't soften. Base looks great as well. Just kind of Christmassy almost, with the snow and stuff like that, and the kind of even the red brick. There's a lot you can do with this. I think it'd be quite small, be one of those ones where you probably have to have them sitting. Like, that's one thing about the Mark III 2.0 base with the Ironmonger. There's a very small area for him to stand, so you really kind of nearly have to have him with 1 foot up and something like that. That's what I've done anyway. But yeah, look, really looking forward to this as well. I haven't pre-ordered this now, but I'm gonna have to make shapes and start looking at what's available where and prices and stuff like that. This is the most of 2023 out of all the announcements, and there was a lot of great announcements. Come on, think about it. You've got the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman, the Batmobile. You've had the Batman Armory. You've got like they announced a Mark VI with a gantry. It was really strong. This was my most. This was the announcement in 2023, the thing that went up for pre-order, which got me the most hype. Huge Dark Knight fan, massive Dark Knight Rises fan. I think Dark Knight Rises, gets a lot of unnecessary stick, and I don't think it's anything to do with the movie. I think it's because it came after the Dark Knight, so that's always going to be, they're always going to compare it to the Dark Knight. Is it as good a movie as Dark Knight? No, but it's still a bloody great movie. I mean, I think all 3 of those movies are 5-star, but yeah, look, Dark Knight has the edge. Maybe this is 4.5 star if you want to split hairs. But Tom Hardy, I think he did an amazing job. Recently got these in Blu-ray Ultra 4K. Shout out to Ian, aka Agent Silver Fox, and got myself a Blu-ray player. And I didn't think I noticed the difference in picture, but I have to say I did, and really, really crisp. But what I also noticed was the mixing is better, because I have these on DVD and I have them on Apple Plus as well, or Apple TV, whatever you want to call it. And I notice sometimes when I'm watching Nolan movies, like Nolan, the way the sound mixing, the background sounds are really, really loud, and sometimes the dialogue is really, really low. But I find that doesn't happen with the Blu-ray for some reason. And I was reading about it. It's something to do with it's like a cinema optimized sound or something. I remember reading something on the discs. But what I noticed, Bane's voice, which can be muffled at times in different other platforms, was really, really clear. And I loved the way he went for that. It's kind of like, it's a strange, like, kind of almost mechanical, almost like English accent or something like that. I think it was unusual, and I just think it was amazing. Like, I really, really liked it. And what's not to like about this? This blows the 1.0 Bane out of the water. The 1.0 Bane was too small, too skinny, plastic jointed arms, had the coat that flaked. Here you're getting brand new body. Okay, the traps are more accurate, the shoulders are more accurate, the chest is more accurate, seamless joints. You've got the head sculpt with updated paint applications. You've got a coat with, it said it's some sort of new material. Hopefully it won't flake or peel. You still have the kind of, assume that's a bulletproof jacket or whatever, the vest he has. Doesn't come with the little, the kind of jumper, because if you remember the final kind of fight scene between him and Batman in the snow in Gotham. He's wearing this vest, but he's wearing the black jumper. Now I'm sure 1/6 kit or 1/6 outfitters or someone, it's not going to be too hard to get essentially a 1/6 scale black jumper to put underneath it. But look at that. Body proportions look fantastic. If I had to nitpick, and it's totally nitpick, it's that wrist joint there. What are they going to do? Are they going to give us a seamless wrist? I think J&D offer. If I have to pay $1,700 for it, then grand, I'll make my peace with the ball joint. Essentially, yeah, it's a 1/6 scale figure. But look at it. Newly specialized muscular body designed for Bane. Seamless design from neck to arms. Advanced body structure shows the MMS 689, which is the new one, and then the MMS 183. And the phrase night and day gets thrown around a lot in the 6 scale community, but I do think this is night and day. Like, it's bigger, it's better, it's more accurate. The shoulders are bigger, the arms are bigger, they're seamless. Yeah, and again, no disrespect to someone who has the 1.0, but look, this is better, and that's life. Got the scar as well on the back. Inner metal skeleton with enhanced articulation range. Basically, if they give this guy the Peacemaker treatment, you're on a winner. Hyped about that. So these are in no particular order, because that was definitely the number one figure of this year that I'm most hyped to receive. The Mark 6 is my favorite armor. Having that posed with the Mark 1 War Machine together with the fusion reactors, they just look exceptional. They just look amazing. I'm gonna have to figure out how to wire CCFLs and fusion reactors with those Blaladins. Not as simple as the D-Tufts, because you don't have the grey metal frame, but I have something in mind, hopefully it'll work. Now this comes with a gantry, okay? The head sculpt there, I see Robert Downey Jr. there, but I don't think it's the best version. I recorded earlier on today a reaction video to the announcement of the Mark II. I think that head sculpt's really, really strong. And what I said was that with Robert Downey Jr., they've done so many renditions, but like they're hit and miss. What I mean by that is they've done him so much, they should have him absolutely nailed now. Now look, most of them, when you look at them, like, yeah, that's Robert Downey Jr. But there's always these little things which is like, why did they do that? Like, it could be better. But they're capturing a moment here. I can see Robert Downey Jr. here. I think maybe it's the forehead. It's like there's one extra wrinkle. It's like the forehead's a bit stretched. I'm totally nitpicking here. Still a very, very strong sculpt. This gantry, oh, it's just, I just love the Mark 6. And then they've done the quarter scale as well. I mean, the thought of getting this for the gantry, it is appealing. I can't rule this out, but it's just one of those things. You can afford to buy anything, but you can't afford to buy everything. It's so tempting. It's so tempting. It just, like, look at this. They got the gantry. You've got the battle damage swap out parts. They're the same battle damage swap out parts that the Mark 6 diecast that I have. It's a special edition from Sideshow or whatever. You can still get that wherever. But it had swap out battle damage parts, and what was strange about it was branded Avengers, but the battle damage was from Iron Man 2. And this is the same. That battle damage there is from the kind of scar there to the on the left hand side of the arc reactor. I believe that's from Whiplash in the final scenes of Iron Man 2. And I think this is branded Avengers, because that, of course, that gantry wouldn't have been in Iron Man 2. Yeah, excited about that. So just to recap there on, no, I'll do that at the end. Okay, Vader. Not much to say here. It's a Darth Vader. I don't have a Vader. It's from the original trilogy. You've got the Sebastian Shaw head sculpt. Just like, sign me up, get a CCFL with that, and that's just going to look amazing. Been waiting for a C-3PO for the longest time. At the time of the Attack of the Clones C-3PO, when that was announced, I said, no, I don't collect prequels. I stuck to my guns and I said, they're going to do a C-3PO. And I think a lot of people were saying that. Some people were saying, don't wait. But I mean, like, if you don't collect prequels, what good is it anyway? Also, knowing that they now had the most of the R&D done for the prequels, it was kind of only a matter of time before this happened. So this here, really excited about that. Now, hopefully they do the right thing and they bring out a Return to Jedi, or just an original trilogy or 2D2. This here, not pre-ordered, but I mean, look, it's a Dark Knight trilogy. My default setting is I'm always interested, and then I rule things out. Whereas if you look at, just a perfect segue, dog's going mad here. If you look at, say, the sequels or the prequels, definitely the sequels. My default setting is no. Clone Wars, my default setting is no, because I have to rule out things. It's a way of basically managing my collection and going, I'm interested in this, I'm not interested in this. This looks cool, but this looks cool and I actually love it. So you have to draw the line somewhere. I definitely do. I can't afford to get everything, and nor do I want to get everything. I don't have the space, the money, the time. But when it comes to the Dark Knight trilogy, I'll always have a look. I think the sculpt is... you can see what they're trying to do. I just think it needs improvement. People are saying the arms are overly jacked. Nah, he was pretty big in the movies. I actually think he was biggest in Batman Begins, and then he kind of gets more gaunt looking. Not gaunt looking, but he definitely gets it. Yeah, gaunt is not the right word. He gets leaner in the face, and I suppose by the time he got to the Dark Knight Rises, he's supposed to be an older, aging Batman who's a little bit more frail, like, and he's go back training and stuff like that. But he's still pretty big arms. They might be like they're overly jacked, but what we're probably going to see here is the sculpts on the arms will soften a bit, and because they'll soften a bit, he'll probably have less muscle tone, and then you'll probably hit that sweet spot and hopefully make it look a bit more accurate. The face though needs a little bit of work. Face needs a bit of work. I can see what they're trying to do, but again, that could benefit from a bit of softening because it looks a bit too gaunt. But excited about that. And finally, another one that I think a lot of people are looking forward to, the inart rooted single. Now, a lot of people are looking forward to inart various different products. The next one that I could realistically envision coming to my collection is this one here, the Robert Pattinson inart Batman, the rooted single pack only. So I'm just going to go back through this and just see. Right, so this one, these are excited about them all. They're all due for release this year. This one I haven't pre-ordered. This one I haven't pre-ordered. This one here too. This one I'm pre-ordered, and this one is not pre-ordered. This one I haven't crossed that bridge yet. This one, yeah, day one, as good as a day one gets. Haven't picked this one up yet. I haven't pre-ordered it yet. Definitely, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it though. Money, space, but it's so hard to say no to when it's your favorite suit. Yeah, that's on PO. That's on PO. Not yet, but again, it's the Dark Knight Rise. I can never rule it out. And this one, yeah, I have one. So that's the end of the video. That was day 8 or video 8. So it's 8th day of Christmas. I know Christmas is essentially over, but Christmas, you know, it lasts 12 days. But I know those last few days are kind of, you're just people are preparing to go back to work, or they're already gone back to work, or getting back into the swing of normality. But that was day 8 or video 8 of the 12 Days of Christmas 2023 playlist. And we'll be back for tomorrow with day 9. We'll be on the Hope Show later on today. And yeah, thanks for watching. That's the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Let me know if you are excited for any of these figures or not. You can also follow me on Instagram and on X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.